everyone, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Susan Timchak and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'd like to welcome you here today. Today I want to share with you a really quick card. Now this is not my idea. One of the great things about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is we have thousands of other demonstrators, hobbyists, career women, part-time business people such as myself to share ideas with. So this was an idea I saw from a fellow demonstrator, Dina Rico, and I thought that this was such a cool idea and I wanted to share it with my customers at a class that I did this week. So I had leftover supplies, so I thought why not share it with you also. So she does a great job. I'm kind of like a stalker. I follow her videos and her channel all the time, and she has such great ideas. So I'm not sure if she is the original designer of this, so if she was, super idea. But I love the simplicity of the white on white. And we don't have to worry because the sets I'm using, the supplies I'm using are not retiring except the ink. The ink that I use for the Just Breathe is the Emerald Envy, which is one of the new ink colors. So these are the ink colors that are going to be leaving us, and I'm going to be sad to see them go, but I'm excited of what's coming. So let's get started with this card. Now for the class, I did a lot of prep work for them ahead of time. The stamp set that I used, which I really only used one stamp for this and one from another, is from the stamp set called Bike Ride. And this one is so much fun. When I first purchased it, I didn't buy it as the bundle. I just bought this and I thought, oh, that's okay. I don't need the bundle. But yeah, I did. So the only thing that is going to be retiring is the bundle. Any of the bundles that are in the Occasions catalog and the annual catalog, because if you buy them together with a bundle, and a bundle being the coordinating framelits that go with it, which, hello, look at the little cobble street. I mean, all the fun things. You don't have to fussy cut any of these items. And the bundle price, if you purchase them together, the stamp set along with the Build-A-Bike framelits, you'll save 10%. But once the new catalog comes, that bundle goes away, and there'll be all new bundles. So keep that in mind when you're looking to make your purchase of what's on the retirement list. All the bundles are going to be retiring. So if it's something you want to get, you'll save 10% now, even though it's going to be carried over in the catalog. So I hope that makes sense. So the Bike Ride stamp set is photopolymer. It's really cute. And the best part about it is it's a stamp set, so we're going to use the flowers here. So the flowers, you stamp your image, and then they have the coordinating leaves and the flowers that you stamp over it. Same with the books, the flowers. Look at the little dog. The dog is actually the base dog, and the detailed, and then there's a little bandana, and the basket. I mean, all of these components just work with inks, and you don't even have to do the coloring. I love the little apples too. I don't want to forget about them. But for time's sake with this class, I pulled out the markers, so we're just going to color that in. And the saying that I used on the card, the Just Breathe, is coming from the Colorful Season stamp set. And this is another bundle that you're going to definitely want to put on your list. It's not retiring, and it has coordinating framelits as well, but the bundle price is retiring. So if you get it now, you'll save 10%. And I love this set. This set has a lot of different images to it. Oops, sorry. And I don't use this one enough, but this is a set that everybody knows with the framelits, and they always say, oh, that's the set with the Adirondack chair. And yes, it is. You can't get an Adirondack chair anywhere else but with the framelits. And if you don't have a big shot, well, you're going to want to invest in that too. So you might as well just buy the purchase the stamping kit for $99 and get $125 of merchandise and save yourself on future purchases. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Okay, let's get started with the card. We got a little zhuzh on there, but, well, that's okay. I'm going to use that as my back. I'm going to get my bone folder out so I get a nice, crisp, crease, and I like to do my scoring ahead of time. So this is your basic card size. Then I have a piece of Whisper White cut down just a quarter all the way around. So this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And that's basically just going to be layered on top. Okay? But let's go ahead and get our bicycle components. So we have our bike frame, and we have our 2 wheels. We have our itty bitty basket, and then we have this piece, which is what we're going to stamp our flowers. So I'm going to use Memento ink. I like to use Memento ink when I'm using the photopolymer because it's less staining, and I'm going to use the markers with it, and that'll work out just fine. So I apologize if my head gets in the way, but let me just look through here. And I'm going to stamp that. Was my head in the way? Well, if it was, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so there is our flowers. Love it. So while we're stamping, let's go ahead. Let's give that a second to kind of dry a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead with our Emerald Envy. And we're going to stamp our Just Breathe. And I tell the ladies at my classes, light kisses on the ink pad. Okay, you don't want to smush, because if you smush, then you're just going to make a big old mess. All right, there's our Just Breathe. That's it for stamping. So we're going to close that on up. Okay, so let me get my dimensionals. So let's go ahead and build our bike. Now our wheels, of course, are going to be down on the bottom. And I'm using this base card to kind of help me align. Our little bicycle frame is going to go on top. So you want to make sure, you know, you're not popping a wheelie on your bike. Alright, so glue dots. I found glue dots work the best for putting this together. So I'm going to take my frame right to my glue dot roll and press that. And then press it here for the front. And let's go ahead and start off with the wheel and the front wheel. Line that up. There we go. All right, how cute is that? And our little basket. What I'm going to do with that, I'm going to take a little glue dot and I'm going to roll it up, and I'm just going to put a little tiny piece of it right there, so it's kind of going to be hidden a little bit, and that's going to go right on the bicycle frame. No, that didn't work out too well. Alright, it moved. Alright, just like that. There we go. You could use your liquid glue for this. I want a little bit higher. There we go. There's that. Okay, so let's go ahead with our markers. And we're just going to quickly color this in. Again, we're using the Emerald Envy for our leaves. Now you can, like I said, you can go ahead and use the stamps and ink them up and color this in. But just for time's sake, and well, I don't know, because I feel like doing a little coloring tonight, I'm just going to use the markers. And because I have them, and that they're going to be leaving me, and then I'm going to be so sad. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our little flowers. I'm using the fine tip on the markers. So one of the great things about the Stampin' Up! Markers is that we have a fine tip, so when you have smaller areas like this, you can get right in there and color that so nicely. And then on the other end is a wider tip. So for a bigger flower like this one, we can use the wider tip to color that one in. Alright, there we go with that. Okay, now this is going to, let me get the card here so you can see. This little thing of flowers is going to go inside our basket. So again, I'm going to pull in my glue dots I think 2 should be enough. And put that so it's cascading out of the flowers. Now to give this a little more dimension, I'm going to, of course, use our dimensionals. And when it comes to dimensionals, don't be stingy. That is what helps it so that there's like no sagging. And where are my little paper snips? I'm going to use a couple of the edges here. They always come in handy. We do have our mini dimensionals that you can use as well. But I like to use up every single piece of my dimensionals. Let's go down here. So this is where, this is a great way to use them. These little half sizes where it'll fit for, say, the handlebar. Oh, let me put one on the seat. All right. And the seat. And look how quick and simple this card comes together. If you don't make a mess like I do. Okay, now we got to peel all these little backings off and stick it to our card. But you know, I think first I'm going to put my card base onto my card before I do this because it'll be easier to glue down first. Yeah, my dog has to go out. And why does that always happen? You know, you're in the middle of, you know, doing your project and, you know, doesn't she know that I have, you know, thousands of you out there watching me? I know there are thousands, right? I hope so. That would be wonderful. Okay, so here we go. And we put our little bicycle on here. Oop. All right, like that. And there we go. Now what we can do, let's do this. Let's add a little bit of Wink of Stella because it just needs a little bit of something. I'm just going to use the cap, give it a little squeeze. There we go. Let's add a little something to those flowers to perk them up a little bit. And a little bit on the leaves too. There, I think that was just the added touch it needed. So there we go. There is our quick and simple white on white card with a pop of color using the Bike Ride stamp set, the Colorful Seasons stamp sets, and the Build a Bike framelits. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to purchase any of these items, head on over to my online store at stampandsuecreates.stampinup.net. And you'll be able to make a purchase and, you know, add this to your collection. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll talk to you all again real soon. Bye for now. I don't think I was videotaping. Yes, I was. Hello.